Hey everybody, this is Mr. Oldie. We have today the Vici Gaming versus EHOME. This is game 2 at the ESL 1 New York Qualifiers, the Chinese Qualifiers. EHOME was able to take game 1 in a pretty dominating fashion. So we have the draft right now for Vici versus EHOME. As you can see right now, Vici has the Winter Wyvern, Queen of Pain, Phoenix, and the Phantom Lancer. They're deciding on this last pick here, while EHOME has the Gyrocopter, Spirit Breaker, Undying, and the Earthshaker. This game determines, well, this series of games determines who moves on to the finals here for the Chinese qualifier for ESL 1 New York. Right now, EHOME is leading this series 1-0. So Vici Gaming really needs to pull out a solid draft and a solid game here to ensure that they continue moving on through this bracket. So we have Witch Doctor final pick to the Bloodseeker last pick of the EHOME. Interesting pickups there. It's always funny to see a Bloodseeker in the game, not because he is a humorous character, but simply because of how insane he is in the early game. Once you have a few points up in the thirst, he can easily be moving in team fights in the early game where most heroes are generally low for the duration of the team fight, as there are a lot of nukes and then you're often out of mana, or it's right clicks to try and finish people off. He's usually running around at 600 plus move speed with a bonus 80 or 90 damage. So we will see how that goes. It's a very team effort to keep a Bloodseeker down in the early game. However, he also can be bursted very, very easily because of Blood Rage, increasing all damage dealt and taken.
5 seconds remaining.
So we have FY on the Winter Wyvern, Super on the Queen of Pain. The Fenrir on the Witch Doctor, Ice 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 on the Phoenix, and Burning on the Phantom Lancer. And then for EHOME, we have 11 on the Undying, Lanham on the Earthshaker, CTY on Gyrocopter, Kaka on Spirit Breaker, and Old Chicken on the Bloodseeker. I'm attempting to control my... well... there we go. I'm trying out a new set of controls. For second there it wasn't responding, but it seems to be going now. I don't know if it's me or if there are just still a lot of bugs in Reborn with these camera controls, but the last couple of games I've noticed, as I press some binds to change the camera type, the camera will just start flying quickly towards the nearest fountain, and I'm not quite sure why that is. Got a little invade here by the Undying and the Spirit Breaker, but Vici doesn't want to really contest that too much. Looks like this top rune should go to the Bloodseeker. With the bottom rune going the way of Gyrocopter. So, EHOME secures both of these runes. Uh-oh. Phoenix, he does have the Icarus dive first, so he won't take too much damage there. Just a very little bit of harass. And then in the mid we have Bloodseeker versus Queen of Pain. This lane, of course, favors Queen of Pain as she is ranged, has good damage, and has the nukes. However, the Bloodseeker, if he plays it properly, can keep himself up and do pretty well in this lane because of the healing of his Blood Rage. He's getting a bit low here, though. He has to be careful. He may go down to this. He still has a couple of ticks. No, he will survive. Bloodseeker has to be very careful. I've mentioned this in some previous videos. I would really like to see a lot of these Bloodseeker players, rather than Blood Raging themselves and going in and getting the last hits and then taking a lot of harass on the way in and out, I would prefer to see them Blood Raging the creeps that they are intending to last hit. Run up there, you can get that last hit on the creep without taking any bonus damage from the heroes. Still heal up just as much as you would otherwise, and then fall back. And I think it would serve them much better in general. If you know you aren't going to take a lot of harass, of course, it's fine to Blood Rage yourself, and then you can heal up off of multiple creeps. But the Winter Wyvern comes in again. They've got a lot of slow going down. Queen of Pain does have her blink. She blinks forward, unfortunately. It was just out of range of the Bloodseeker, but great body blocks from the Winter Wyvern. Oh, and they just barely secure the kill. So first blood goes the way of Vici Gaming. Great body blocks there by the Winter Wyvern. In this top lane, we have Spirit Breaker and Undying. Very annoying composition to be up against. But doesn't seem to be phasing this Phantom Lancer too much. He definitely doesn't have all the last hits he would like to have at this point, but he isn't doing too badly either at 5-2. Ice just poking around here in Radiant Jungle. Uh-oh. Yeah, the Bloodseeker getting a little bit low. They tried to dive in, but were not able to finish him off. Gideon did get in some good harass, but with the creeps pushing back behind the tower here, Bloodseeker should have no problem healing himself right back up. If this Bloodseeker continues to Blood Rage himself, he will have a difficult time anytime they try and set up the ganks. Witch Doctor's coming forward. I think he dodged that decay. No, that decay still hit him. Looks like Undying and Spirit Breaker want to go on the Witch Doctor. They've got the charge. Tombstone is dropped. They got a bash. First hit. He will go down. Phantom Lancer should be alright. He still has Doppel if he needs it. Wants to hold on to that just in case they decide to go again. The cooldown, of course, on the charge is very, very low. 10 seconds once you hit the target. Spirit Breakers. Alright, Bloodseeker's taking more harass. They've got the Scream coming out along with the Splinter. And that is enough to finish him off. The charge is coming in, but this should be cancelled. Spirit Breaker attempted to help out Bloodseeker in middle, but he just goes down so quickly. I really do believe it's a mistake to be Blood Raging yourself in 9 out of 10 scenarios early on in the lane like this. Spirit Breaker has the haste turn. Seeing if he could make a play, but it isn't going to happen. We have an XP gain of, or lead by EHOME of about 750 and a gold lead of about 500. They're going in on the Bloodseeker. They won't be able to get him this time, but they do get in some good harass. He's Blood Rage throughout the majority of that, so he ends up taking massive damage. He's got to be playing this differently. Spirit Breaker and Undying want to go on the Witch Doctor again. He's such a squishy target, and they both have really good physical damage. Especially if he can get the decay stacks up. He doesn't have any decay right now, but PL just burns off that clarity. Does not want Undying to have enough for the Tombstone, Soul Rip, and the decay. That can be very bad for them. He does have some stick charges, so he'll probably have enough even if he tries. As long as he goes in on the, yeah. He uses stick charges just to make sure he will have enough. They charge in on the Phantom Lancer. He does Doppel out of that. Tombstone is down. Decay. There is a response here from the Queen of Pain, though. She may be able to clean up both of these heroes. Undying is low, but she doesn't have a lot of mana. She has to be very careful that she doesn't use that offensive. Gyrocopter rotates up to the top. We've got a charge coming in on the Winter Wyvern. Rocket Barrage. This should be a dead winner, yes. Bloodseeker rotated up too, but it's a little late to the party. Oh, he does have the Rupture, so he ruptures Phantom Lancer. The Blood Rite and the Call Down are both down. Doppelgang out of both. Great timing on that, but is it enough? The Rocket Barrage is almost enough to finish off the Bloodseeker. He just barely survives. 40 health. Great play there by EHOME. Queen of Pain here really looking to get some cleanup kills. And the Spirit Breaker is done. He doesn't want any of this. Queen of Pain looking around for the gyro. He is just out of vision. Oh no. Gyro and Bloodseeker both were so close to being found, but neither were until now, and it may be too late. Queen of Pain does get the gyrocopter, but it looks like Bloodseeker is safe, at least for the moment. He does not have a TP scroll, so he's going to be stuck up there for a while. They clean up this tombstone, get a little bit of extra gold. Oh no, Undying stuck around way too long. I'm not sure what his intent was there. They weren't going for him, and he had the time to just walk away, but he came back forward. He may have been thinking about trying to soul rip the tombstone to heal that back up, which may have ended up with a kill, but instead he just feeds himself. The ISSI soft lane is doing alright. He does have his treads already. Treads, bottle, and he's working his way towards probably a blade mail, I would imagine. Bloodseeker needs to heal himself back up here before anyone comes up. If Queen of Pain comes up, he is a one-shot kill. There we go. Gets himself topped off just a little bit. Still doesn't quite have the treads complete, but he's not too far from it. They can take down this tower here, he'll have them. Oh, and Phoenix just killed the Earthshaker bottom. I was not expecting a dive there.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
We've got the charge in from the Spirit Breaker onto the Winter Wyvern. The call down, Rocket Barrage. Rocket Barrage misses almost all of it though. And the Spirit Breaker should be the consequences. Qual does have the double damage. Oh, she commits the ult right as the last right click probably had him dead anyway. But they did not want to let that gyrocopter escape. Now with this double damage, they'll get a little bit of chip damage on the tower here in mid. Fortification comes out, so in the meantime, Quap's just going to secure the rune. Refill that bottle. Undying trying to keep some pressure on this top lane. Might help pull some of the Vici heroes off of middle. He has to be careful that he doesn't stick around too long. He's very exposed here, especially with the mobility of the Queen of Pain. Bloodseeker does have enough now to finish his treads. Ooh, Gyrocopter's getting so low. The egg was committed. Gyrocopter salves himself back up. He can go back in on this. They have the charge coming in, but Phoenix got out of the egg and was able to Icarus dive away, so he is safe. And now with 4 here, they may choose to try and pressure this lane. Phoenix is up here, and Phoenix has pretty good lane defense, especially with those spirits. You can throw them on all of the creeps and the heroes, drastically reduce everyone's attack speed, and soften them all up. Winter Wyvern rotates over just to ensure that they can't get anything done on this tower. Winter Wyvern, of course, with the Splinter Blast, has amazing lane push. Or lane defense.
Yes.
Tombstone is dropped. He's just going to try and farm up all these camps. Charge is committed up top. This is just to get him over into the lane. He just doesn't want to be missing out on any of these last free hits and the experience. Really needs to get to 6. Once Spirit Breaker hits 6, that is an enormous change in his ganking potential, as his ultimate deals massive damage. We see the Spirit Breaker prioritizing the bash over the stun of his charge, which means that he is going to be hoping for more damage in these team fights, rather than simply a little bit extra lockdown. The charge at max is a 2.4 second stun. The bash at max is only 1.6 seconds, but once you max that out, of course, increases your damage significantly, as all of his abilities are based on the level of his greater bash for the damage they deal. Looks like Vici are gathering up to try and push this bottom lane. We have 4 of them. They have 2 smoked in the jungle behind the tower. Icarus dive in. They're on the Undying. This Undying should go down. He drops the tombstone. He's just hoping to buy time and stall. They've got a TP in. The Soul Rip heals him up a lot. The Echo Slam does massive damage. Quap is so low, but she blinks over into the trees. We've got the ult from the Winter Wyvern on Gyrocopter. And the Rupture on Phoenix as Icarus dives away, and he goes down very quickly. Bloodseeker now has massive damage boost, but he also is taking so much from the Blood Rage. Queen of Pain healed herself back up and finished off the Bloodseeker. So that was a 3-for-3 trade. I believe that trade would probably favor Vici Gaming. And actually the Phantom Lancer had died earlier, so that was actually a 2-for-3 trade down here in the bottom.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, that last fight, I don't know if the graphs have updated yet from that fight. The graph looks about even, so it may have just been a wash. Winter Wyvern hoping to get something done here with the Phoenix. The call down is trying to buy some time, but the Icarus dive will ensure that Gyrocopter does not get away. So good pickup there between the two, the off lane and the support. Meanwhile, EHOME is trying to pressure mid. They've got a smoke coming out. Spirit Breaker is smoked. They're hoping to invade this jungle and get a pick off on the Phantom Lancer. Throws down a ward there in mid so they can see any of those rotations. Smoke's gonna break in a few seconds. They haven't found anything. And as the smoke is not broken as they run this direction, they know that he's not over here, so they'll just have to look to see if they can maybe put some pressure on the middle tower or catch someone unawares elsewhere. Good wards up in the jungle here, though. We've got a charge coming in towards middle. The Witch Doctor ult is committed, makes quick work of the Undying, but now they are trapped behind the fissure. Phoenix, of course, gets out no problem, but the Blood Rite is going to secure the kill on the Witch Doctor. One-for-one trade, and they have a lot of heroes now in mid. Both teams are starting to rotate over here. The Spirit Breaker charges in on the Phoenix. Phoenix does not have his Icarus dive, as he used that just a moment ago. Oh, the Queen of Pain ult goes down, deals massive damage, but the Gyrocopter's alive for just a moment. Earthshaker Echo Slam ensures they finish off Phoenix, but it really didn't do much. Bloodseeker goes down. He had himself Blood Raged in between 3 heroes. So that is a cleanup here for Vici. The only hero not to die was the Undying, who had just respawned from dying earlier. Queen of Pain now has a massive lead in gold. 7,600. The next closest hero is also on her team at 5,000 and just barely edging out the Gyrocopter at 5,000 as well.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
And in that meantime, Phantom Lancer was able to secure the bottom tower.
Radiant's middle tower is under
We have Undying farming up the jungle here. PL, if he can catch him, might be able to take him out. They're looking to try and go in on this Undying. They know he's working on clearing out the jungle. They've got to take out the Tombstone first before Witch Doctor doesn't take too much damage from all that. Sora heals it up, make it last a couple more seconds, but EHOME is also responding. They don't want to lose all of these stacks. CTY is committing the call down to try and finish off this Witch Doctor, but with the rejuvenation, he is not going to get it. So EHOME just secures their stacks, and Vici secures their lives. Major kill lead right now for Vici Gaming. Net worth is in Vici's favor by a little over 4,000, and the XP by just about 3,000. We still have some really good wards here by EHOME down there in the middle lane. So they've got good vision for any kind of rotations here on the T1 when they decide to take it. And then up here also to try and watch for the PL farming and for any type of charge invades they might want to make on the jungle there. Cask is thrown out, but Undying has put too much space between him and that range creep to be locked down for any time.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
EHOME needs to make some good plays here. If they can get one good team fight with the massive gold lead that Queen of Pain has, they can really turn this game around. Vici's in a good spot, but they have to make sure they stay that way, as both teams have very powerful heroes if there's a major lead on either side. Gyrocopter's farming up here. They're pinging him out. They want to go on him. Got a Queen of Pain is smoked. She's just baiting this Phoenix, hoping that they will choose to try and go on him, but EHOME is doing nothing of the sort. And actually it's an invis rune, not a smoke on that Queen of Pain. The charge is coming out on the Queen of Pain here. He's coming in from a great angle too, behind the fight. Tombstone is dropped. With the direction that the Spirit Breaker's coming in, he'll be in prime position to disrupt, but Queen of Pain blinks back so it does not hit everybody. Witch Doctor ult's doing so much damage to the Spirit Breaker, takes him down. Bloodright comes out. It looks like Vici will be able to just disengage, take their one kill and go home. They're also going to be able to get this tower mid unless they can get the deny quickly. The Phoenix ult is committed, and Phoenix will likely go down here. Yes, she does. So Phoenix dies. Oh, the Qual ult is able to finish off Bloodseeker. He was Blood Rage, so that is massive damage from that pure ult. Phantom Lancer is going so deep. They're able to pick off the Phoenix or the Earthshaker underneath his own tier 3. PL gets the last hit on this mid tower. Great plays here by Vici Gaming. They keep extending this lead nearly up to 6,000 gold and just over 3,000 XP. We've got a charge coming in on the Phantom Lancer. He does have the Doppelganger, so he should be able to get away from this no problem. Yeah, the charge is cancelled. We've got a double damage rune bottled for Quap, and she now has the Orchid and 2,600 banked. So she is in fantastic position here at 19 minutes. EHOME do have a lot of comeback potential though with the heroes they have. Spirit Breaker is going to be effective virtually all game unless he gets behind by so much that they can just kill him in a couple of shots. Because the charge, if you can get good positioning on it, can disrupt an entire fight. And then of course his ultimate is always good damage. Phoenix trying to take some farm here from EHOME. They really just want to starve them out. They know they've got a good lead right now, so they just want to ensure that they can extend that lead as much as possible. The Queen of Pain, they are smoked. They're going to try and catch this Bloodseeker. She pops the double damage, blinks forward. They've got the slow and the Witch Doctor ult. That's going to be a very dead Bloodseeker.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
That Witch Doctor ult there was just to ensure that they killed him fast enough that there wasn't going to be any big response before they could finish him off with the Rupture still up. Call down goes down. This Witch Doctor is going to die. And the Queen of Pain should be able to blink away. Oh, so there's massive damage from the Rocket Barrage, and he got another bash after the ult. It was enough to ensure that she goes down. Undying is taking a lot of damage here. The Echo Slam doesn't do all that much, but the Tombstone is still up. Spirit Breaker's taking a fair amount of damage, but the PL just has to disengage. There's way too many zombies right now. And Gyrocopter is running forward, trying to get anybody with this Rocket Barrage. We've got a charge on the Winter Wyvern. She does still have the Arctic Burn, but she goes down before she can get it. The Fissure ensures she is not able to cast that. Phoenix here just trying to get some damage, and we've got a Cask. The Undying is taking a lot of damage, but Sora heals him up. We've got Call Down back up again. Witch Doctor goes down so quickly. Phantom Lancer trying to catch the Spirit Breaker. The Icarus dive forward. Bloodright just try and make some space in the Rupture on the Phoenix. This Phoenix is dead. Things are starting to fall apart for Vici. They went back in on this hoping that they could get some cleanup kills, but Spirit Breaker is so tanky. And then Bloodseeker was able to run back up there once everyone started getting a little lower and ensure they were able to finish off a couple of heroes. Without any BKBs here on Vici Gaming, this Bloodright is such a disjointing spell in these team fights. Not many can afford to be silenced throughout here. Qual completely relies on her spells. PL can't afford to not have Doppelganger at any point. So until we see a Manta on this PL or some BKBs on some of the other heroes, this Bloodseeker will always remain effective, even with very few items. We've got the Sanj on the Bloodseeker, and the Yasha is on its way. Wow. I say on its way, it's sitting in his stash. She has 50 seconds left on the courier. And then it'll be on its way. The vision is pretty limited for both teams. Ward just expired at the bottom there for EHOME. It was around the Roche pit. We've got a smoke coming out for EHOME. All 5 are smoked. And they have an Invis rune. But they're going to pop that Invis so that Gyrocopter can basically stand out front if he needs to. And that he will have it if he has to step forward and the smoke doesn't break. They catch PL. The stuns go down. Echo Slam ensures that he's not able to doppel. Quick PL kill. Just exploded to that damage. Rocket Barrage is so effective. They've got a silence on Spirit Breaker, but he's the tankiest hero on their team right now. Soul Rip comes out, the Winter Wyvern ult. Spirit Breaker does go down, but they've got Rupture now on the Queen of Pain. She still can't blink at max range and not take damage from that, but I don't know if she's going to be able to. There are several low heroes, which makes this Bloodseeker incredibly potent. But he's trapped on the low ground by the Fissure. It was just barely too long. Wasn't able to get up there. He probably would have been able to finish off a hero if he was, but that was not the case. Still, a 3-for-1 trade in favor of EHOME. EHOME is really starting to take control of this game. They needed some smart fights and some long drawn-out fights where Bloodseeker can really shine, and that's exactly what they've made happen. We've got the silence and the slow on Bloodseeker. Fissure just to disrupt this fight. Perfect Fissure placement. But the Witch Doctor ult is doing so much damage, and he does go down. Earthshaker escapes on about 100 health points or less. So Vici got a small consolation prize by killing that Bloodseeker. It's not the gyro, but it's something. Vici Gaming right now needs to get back in control of this game. There are a lot of snowballing heroes on both sides. They've just got to get a lot of farm on this Phantom Lancer and allow the Queen of Pain and the rest of the team just to make space. Queen of Pain, of course, has her BKB, as we saw in that last fight. There's a good ward down here for Vici Gaming. It's about to expire, but gives them some decent vision in this area. Phantom Lancer has the Yasha. He's not able to complete the mana. He went ahead and grabbed the Vitality booster here just for a little bit of extra tank ability. He's exploded several times very quickly in these fights before he can get out of the stun lock. So he knows he just needs to be able to survive a little bit longer so he can get his doppelgang off.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Vici let the tier 1 go down. It's not a big loss, and we're late enough in the game now that they know it's going to go down sooner or later. So they just give it up. It refreshes their fortification, so they're fine with it. Ice is working on getting his armor up, and the teams, he does have plate mail completed. We should be seeing a Shiva's guard on him. That, of course, will help a lot. The attack speed slow is pretty massive on that item. Looks like we're going to be seeing a smoke. They're grouping up on... Smoke is on the Witch Doctor. They may just want to defend this bottom lane first. They were thinking about smoking, but with the pressure here from EHOME, Winter Wyvern commits the Arctic Burn. The ultimate goes on the Earthshaker, so he should be going down very quickly. Undying just TP's out. Queen of Pain is looking for more, though. She gets a slow on the Gyrocopter, but he's so fast. This Yasha plus the Phase Boots allows him to just get away. And the Courier survives this time. So it looks like Vici Gaming are just going to transition this into a Roshan. And there's really not much that EHOME can do about it without their Earthshaker. They need him for any of these big engagements like this. He is the greatest counter they have to the Phantom Lancer. This Phantom Lancer is starting to get farmed too, so they know they have to start to be careful about him. They've been able to just jump on him and blow him up, which they still can do if they can get the right positioning. They have to be far more careful about their positioning now.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Good wards from both teams. EHOME has this ward up here, and along with this one. And there. Oh, we've got a fight breaking out here in the middle lane. Earthshaker goes down very, very quickly. But the Queen of Pain is now trapped by the Rupture. Stuns bring her down. Winter Wyvern should go down as soon as the Glimmer Cape expires. Sure enough. And Bloodseeker's just running down Witch Doctor. Rest of his team backs up so that the cast doesn't bounce around too much. Phoenix and Phantom Lance are the only two survivors, but they won't be able to defend here. Spirit Breaker is charging to the top lane. They would really like to be able to pick up a kill on the Phantom Lancer, but he will have the Doppelgang, of course, so don't know that they can actually catch him here. He dodges the first stun. Yeah, Spirit Breaker just has to get back out.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
They do salvage the top tower, so they don't lose that to the PL push.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
So 3 for 0 in favor of EHOME. EHOME is really starting to take control of this game. Say start, they've been for quite a while now. Nearly 10 minutes. You can see it still slightly favors Vici in net worth and minor advantage in XP for EHOME. Both teams have good vision and are being very active. They're also not getting over-aggressive. There is not really any overextension by either team. Both teams have been doing a good job of not allowing themselves to get picked off. But this Bloodseeker, he's very close to this smoke here. They were looking for the Gyrocopter, but it looks like they aren't going to find anything. They do place a ward down here so they can see any kind of rotations up to this top lane. And they're still sitting here in the smoke, trying to bait out the Phantom Lancer. But EHOME knows something is up. We've got a charge coming in on PL.
Radiant structures are fortified.
You want to be able to keep track of which one is which.
Tower is under attack.
Spirit Breaker's way up here by himself. Slow comes out. The Winter Wyvern ult is committed. Spirit Breaker's going to go down very fast. And now the egg is in the middle, but she blows up. There was no backup from the team, no follow-up there, so Phoenix went down quickly. Rupture is on Phantom Lancer, and he is incredibly low, but the Qual quickly dispatches of Undying. And now with the heal from the Winter Wyvern, PL should be just fine. This should mean the top tower going down in favor of Vici. With Spirit Breaker and Undying dead, there really isn't much they can do to stop this. Just need to push down this tower very quickly before anyone responds. Gyrocopter's just going to try and push them back. He doesn't want to commit to a full fight here. He just wants to scare them with the threat of Earthshaker backing him up.
Regeneration.
Bloodseeker has to be very careful. Winter Wyvern ult is down, so he knows that's not going to be a threat yet, but if he happens to ever Blood Rage himself while he's trying to farm and they catch him, he does not last long. Wow, net worth is almost back to 0. Vici have been doing an excellent job of holding on, even though EHOME took the lead there for a moment, and they have great heroes to team fight with. Vici's been taking good fights. We've got a Shadow-bladed charge coming in from the Spirit Breaker. He has to cancel that, though, as Qual blinks back. She saw several heroes closing in and knew something was going to be bad in just a moment. Did a great job of escaping there. Bloodseeker just using his Midas on the Vici jungle. Trying to deny a little bit of farm where he can. I think EHOME may wait until they get the next major item out for some of their cores. They've got 3,800 saved up right now on the Bloodseeker. I think we may see a Butterfly. He already has this BKB, of course, in the S and Y. So I think a Butterfly would be great. Scotty's not a bad item, but he moves so quickly that he really doesn't have to worry about anything like that. So Butterfly also helps versus the Witch Doctor ult. Yeah, the Shadow Blade on the Spirit Breaker, so he may be able to make some good plays in these team fights, set himself up in good position to come around from behind and really get in some disruption. Anybody he charges through gets bashed in a 300 radius around himself, even while he is invisible. So they are just simply getting stunned. They won't see it coming, unless of course they have a sentry down, which is unlikely, as they haven't had to deal with that much so far. Spirit Breaker is caught in the trees up here, but he was trying to get over towards the top lane.
Endurance run.
Now the Bloodseeker's coming up here to push out this top lane. A little more farm. Oh, he went for the AC, so he already has the recipe purchased. I don't actually have a bind to click on the... Oh, apparently I changed the fog.
Worthy tribute.
Not quite sure how I even did that. Anyway, I was going to look at the courier, but I'm not quite sure yet how to do that. It's a little bit different. In the old version, I was able to click my regular select the courier bind when I had a team selected and it would switch to their courier, but I'm not quite sure how to do that right now. We do have a double damage bottled on Queen of Pain, so that'll be a big boon in this team fight for her. This Winter Wyvern, Arctic Burn is up. EHOME is able to back up just enough that they aren't caught.
Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Winter Wyvern was looking to ult the Gyrocopter there. And we've got a smoke on EHOME. They want to re-engage this. We've got the Rupture. And the bash goes through BKB, so that is canceled. She is still moving with the Rupture. And she does not get a maximum range blink there, so she goes down to the Rupture. Winter Wyvern is able to get out. Witch Doctor should go down. Fissure ensures that he does not get the TP. So it's a 2-for-0. Good play by EHOME.
Dire's bottom tower is under
The reason Qual blinked there is because if you get a maximum range blink, it has to be absolutely max. Then you do not take damage from Rupture, because Rupture does not deal damage to anybody who moves over 1,325 units in less than 0.1 seconds. And Quap can blink to 1,350 units at a max range blink. But it has to be absolutely max range, otherwise like that you quickly kill yourself. This PL should go down here to the Rocket Barrage, yeah. There were far too many stuns and a little too much damage. We already have the Butterfly out on Gyrocopter, so he's becoming very dangerous.
Endurance run.
Mechanism and Glimmer Cape on Undying.
Invisibility.
We have Medallion on Witch Doctor, but really nothing else to speak of. Well, Phoenix is caught here. He does have the Icarus dive, but now he's ruptured. It won't even matter. Didn't get the egg off either. I don't think he wanted to commit that, as he knew he probably would die even if he was able to pop that egg. Witch Doctor is also going to fall. Vici is falling apart. They're just getting picked off one by one. We lost PL up in the top lane a few moments ago. Now the Phoenix and the Witch Doctor. They know that Roche should be up soon. It is just a few seconds away. Spirit Breaker's going to hang out here and wait for that. There you go. So they see that it is up now, so they will turn back around, get this Roshan, throw that on the Gyrocopter, I would imagine, and then just continue pressing straight up mid. They want to end this game. The question is, can Vici do anything to stop it? They have a lot of wombo combo, but they've got to get a good Winter Wyvern ult into an egg. The problem, I think, with Vici's engagements has been that they've used the Wyvern ult at the very beginning of the fight to pick off someone like the Earthshaker multiple times. They, of course, would like to get the Gyro, but he's been doing a good job of placing himself in behind the fights. They have also used it on the Spirit Breaker a few times, but they're using that early, and then they don't have the egg going off at the same time. So when the egg does finally go down, EHOME has been able to dispatch of it before it goes off in most of these fights. They have gotten it successfully a couple of times, but they really have to have both of those spells in order to really turn this fight. PL just isn't farmed enough yet to go toe-to-toe with their team. So because of that, they've got to get really good spells. PL does have his... Uh-oh. I'm trying to get down to Lunar Wyvern. There we go. He was able to Glimmer Cape and TP. Good play there by FY. But I was saying the PL does have his heart up. And he has the Ultimate Orb and the Yasha. So we will see the Mantis style coming out from him in just a moment. He, of course, is wanting to save for buyback. We have the buyback right now on the Winter Wyvern and the Bloodseeker, but those are the only two heroes with buyback currently. EHOME is drawing the line straight up middle. They just want to push this. Got a smoke. Will they be able to get a catch here? Phoenix is sitting right on top. The Winter Wyvern ult goes down on Bloodseeker. They want to blow him up first, but they don't have the damage. PL does TP in, so they were able to deal massive damage to the Queen of Pain. She goes down before even getting her ult off. This is falling apart for Vici. EHOME running forward. They still have the Aegis up on the Gyrocopter. Charge on the Phantom Lancer. Cancels that charge, though. He's getting too deep. He does not want to be under those tier 4s. Great cask into the ult from the Witch Doctor. Gyrocopter may be using his Aegis right here. Nope. He uses his Titanic and gets in one right click just to heal himself back up to make sure he doesn't drop this Aegis for nothing. EHOME loses no one and is able to successfully disengage. Wow. So close to going either direction, but EHOME definitely takes that cake. With the Blood Rage, Gyrocopter and Bloodseeker able to both heal up while keeping their cooldowns of Satanic and not having to clear farm for too long. just to keep farming or healing up on creeps here. Splinter Blast coming out just to harass a little bit and try and weaken up these creeps.
Dire's bottom tower has fallen.
Got a charge coming in on Phoenix. Phoenix sees it. The ult is committed from the Spirit Breaker. He would like to get a kill here, but he still has the Icarus dive. They weren't able to get in range of the Rupture. So Winter Wyvern's going to heal Phoenix back up, and they're getting in position to fight this again. Spirit Breaker charge, but he is just charging the bottom lane. PL continues farming. I'm surprised he doesn't have the mana style on himself yet. He does have his buyback. And he should have enough to buy back and get the mana style, no problem. The one saving grace in that last exchange there for Vici is that PL did not die. So he's able to keep his farm level high here by farming after they were able to rebuff EHOME. Right now, Vici's Gamings are hinging on this Phantom Lancer. He has to have the damage to be able to go toe-to-toe. Oh, Phantom Lancer is trying to get a kill here on Spirit Breaker, and he gets it very quickly. The interesting thing about EHOME's draft, and part of what makes this draft so solid, is that they have multiple answers to the Phantom Lancer. Sometimes you'll see just a single pickup or a reliance on Butterfly, but they don't have that problem. They can rupture the Phantom Lancer, and even if he doppelgangs, he doesn't take the damage from it because he's immune while he's moving. However, the rupture will remain on the real one. So you can always tell which Phantom, or which PL is the real ones and which ones are the illusion. Allowing you to really lock him down. And of course they have the Earthshaker ult and the Gyrocopter Flak to really help with that as well. So they have plenty of answers for the Phantom Lancer. However, if this PL does get fat enough where he can deal enough damage quickly, he can make short work of heroes like Gyrocopter and Bloodseeker. So this Bloodseeker would typically be Blood Raged as well. But he has to have an MKB to do that, and he knows it. Bloodseeker did not opt to go for that Butterfly that I thought he might get. Instead he went for the AC and the Mjolnir. And so far it's been working out fantastically. Vision is quite limited for both teams. Dire does have this ward down here in the jungle. Allows them to see if anybody's pushing up around. Both teams I think are just going to wait for the next Roshan. Just keep farming up. Prepare for this next clash. We have the AC up on Queen of Pain. Have got to be able to reduce that physical damage, so that's an ideal item. Shivas, of course, has been up for a while on Phoenix now. Double TPs, it's next level strats here on Witch Doctor. And the Phantom Lancer does have his Scotty. Still no Manta style. But I guess he figures that it may not be worth rushing the Manta style since they do have so many ways to deal with him. There's a lot of AoE damage. And the Rupture is not removed by anything. So currently aren't any debuffs to remove with the Manta style, or at least not anything major. And maybe he figures having those extra 2 illusions are only going to make him that much weaker against Earthshaker. Oops. EHOME is looking to see if they might be able to get a pickup here. Both teams are just posturing, daring anyone to get out of position, but neither team is doing it. This next Roshan should be a major. major fight going down there, and I think we will likely see the game decided on that. I mean, anything could happen. It's not to say that this next fight will be the end, but if we see a big swing into either team's favor, if we see a big swing in Vici's favor, I don't think they can end the game off of that. However, they could put a lot of pressure, but I think if EHOME takes a big fight win, that it will likely be the game. EHOME is committing to this. We've got the ult coming out on the Phoenix. They want to prevent the egg from going off. Good Winter Wyvern ult, but there was too much damage on Phoenix for him to get off anything.
Dire's top tower is
Glimmer
under
Cape
attack.
is going to allow the PL to escape, and Qual was able to just blink, teleport. So a 1-for-1 trade there. EHOME has about a 6,000 gold lead and nearly 15,000 XP lead. We've got a relic, and so it looks like an Abyssal Blade coming out for Bloodseeker. The only heroes with buyback right now are PL, Quap, and the Winter Wyvern. So if a big fight goes badly for EHOME, they might be in some trouble. Depending on how far the creeps are pushed. They've got to keep the lanes pushed out, because if they do lose a big fight without buybacks and the lanes are pushed up to their base, they could easily lose a couple of lanes of racks. But if the lanes are all pushed pretty heavily, then they should be fine. They will probably be up by about the time Vici could get the lanes pushed up to their tier 3s, and then still have a good chance to defend. Roshan is back up. We will likely see both teams moving over into that area pretty soon. Alright, the full Abyssal Blade is now on the Bloodseeker. EHOME is just going for heavy lockdown. They of course have high damage, but that'll never change by virtue of the heroes they have. So they just want to ensure they have enough lockdown to end heroes like PL and Phoenix before they can get off these game-changing spells. EHOME is trying to bait Vici. They don't want to fully commit into the Roche Pit, but they want Vici to know that they are around the Roche Pit and thinking about doing it. Wyvern uses the Arctic Burn just to check inside, but no one is there. He does have his blink. Blinks forward, gets the ult on the gyrocopter, but the Glimmer Cape comes out and he's able to survive that very easily. Phoenix is going to go down to this. Witch Doctor just blinks out. Already 2 lost on the side of Vici Gaming. It's about to be a third. PL is going to go down. He doesn't even have time to do anything. It was completely locked down. This is going to mean a Roshan for EHOME and then a Death Ball push up the middle in just a minute. They're trying to catch Winter Wyvern. Spiritbreaker does have his ult. Winter Wyvern won't be able to do anything here. She never even gets out of the stun.
Radiant's middle tower.
Roshan goes down. We now have the Aegis of the Immortal on Gyrocopter. And we should be seeing a massive push. Likely up this bottom lane since the creeps are a little bit farther forward. Gyrocopter clears out that wave.
Radiant's middle
And they are
tower
pinging this
is
bottom
under
tower. They want to end this game right here. PL is down for 50 seconds. He does have buyback. Just wants to wait that out as long as he possibly can. Quap is trying to get a little bit of farm in the meantime. She knows she can't defend it without the rest of her team there, so she's just going to keep farming until they decide to buy back and rush in. They may give up 1 lane of racks here. We only have 25 seconds left on PL's respawn, so they may give up the first lane of racks. Wait for PL to respawn naturally so that he has 2 lives.
Dire's bottom barracks are under attack.
Yeah, with this little of time left on his respawn, they aren't going to buy back.
Fallen.
EHOME know that, so they're going to try and get as much collateral damage in as they can before he respawns.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
They know they have a few seconds to freely do whatever they want. The Rupture comes out on Queen of Pain. She takes massive damage from blinking away. And the Phoenix goes down before she can cast anything. The Abyssal Blade and the damage. Great ult from the Winter Wyvern, but it's not enough. PL is just obliterated. He does have his buyback, but I don't think that Vici can turn this around. EHOME is just barreling through their base. Still have the Aegis sitting up here on the Gyrocopter. We've got another ult coming out from the Winter Wyvern. Great ult. Burns Bloodseeker down so quickly. I'm not really sure why Phantom Lancer isn't buying back. He buys back now. Winter Wyvern bought back. But Phantom Lancer did not. Here we go. We've got the PL back up here. Wow, Queen of Pain goes down in about 4 attacks. Vici know it's over. They can't even leave their fountain. That is game. EHOME advances to the grand finals of the ESL 1 New York Chinese Qualifiers, and Vici Gaming is eliminated. This is Mr. Oldie. Thanks for watching. Keep tuned. We'll have more of these games of the ESL 1 New York. Should have the grand finals up later today, maybe early tomorrow morning. Thanks for watching. Take care.